Do, 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 do. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. What are we watching today? We're watching ADN coming in at 16. Hey guys, sorry I'm late getting on here. Had some personal things to deal with. Nice, Saki. Nice. Okay, off you go. Go on, cuteness. I said cuteness. Okay. So portfolio showing down $19,000 because AMCI changed over to ADN today. So that's why that's there. That'll fix itself towards the end of the day once they give me the new ticker name. Good morning, good morning, good morning. FTUC guys, I am holding long on that. GoPro down to 914 here. Did come back to as high as 935. So yeah, that's where we're at there, guys. I'm not going anywhere on GoPro anytime in the immediate future, but we will see what we will see. I just want to throw that disclaimer out first in chat. I'm not a financial professional. Anything you hear on stream or on mic is in no way financial advice. Everybody that's on here is a rookie. See the SEC and CFTC regulations about that there. Guys, just be aware. Not a financial advisor. What you see here on stream is purely for education. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm trying to reconcile with GoPro is, do I increase the position or do I shut it all down? Technically, I'm in breach of my rules, so I need to shut it down, I think. I think I need to take the loss on it here, guys. I do like GoPro, but I do think that I need to shut it down. Okay, I had to close out of that. Exit GPRO 2,000 shares 901 loss on 10% exit rule. What are my trading rules? Here's a list of my trading rules, guys. Out at 10, no FOMO, trading journal daily, sizing targets appropriately, don't marry positions, trade fundamentals, trade reality, so trade what is my 2-month goals, don't go broke taking profit. You can't go broke taking profit, so that means take profits when you can. Stop listening to professionals. This is in regards to professionals saying what should happen one way or another. And you betta, thank you so much for that, man. Honestly, I didn't have anything prepared. I was dealing with stuff, personal stuff this morning. So, rise early, work hard, take profit, consider spin-offs, equity, 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 cleared from the board when you take a win, take your time when placing an order. Those are the rules that I follow for my trading. You guys should definitely make your own set of rules, figure that out. I did want to hold GoPro for long, but unfortunately it has broken my stop, so I am out. It broke my rules. Those rules exist for a reason. I have to keep that up. And I mean, it's coming back up now. It's coming back up right now. So, but I have to follow that rule. That rule's there in the long run for my safety. So, has to be there. Have to keep it in place. Still like AQB guys. I like LUMN. I think that Sundial is in a good position. I think I'm actually going to increase this to good morning, good morning, good morning. AQB, it's a salmon farm, essentially. Um, I did not do well. Took a $2,000 loss with GoPro. It hit my 10% out, so I took it. I'm sure it's gone. Yeah, it's 917 now, so I could have got a better exit, but I'm out. Yeah, yeah, they're okay. Zom is going crazy. Of course it is. Zom. This can come off. It's not a thing anymore. Yeah, Zomedica is up 24%. Heim, always check the author of those articles. 9 times out of 10, they're not even traders. They're just journalists. They just write articles. I think SNDL heading into their earnings is going to buy up. ACB over the last 10 days has had a wild ride from 932 up to about 1350. And this is heading into their earnings. So GoPro beat. Yeah, they didn't beat on revenue, but they did beat. But lesson learned, and that's one thing I am going to add is to the trading rules. I am going to add into earnings, not through. So instead of taking $500 gains yesterday, I took a $2,000 loss as a result of that decision to hold through. Even big players like Apple through haven't had anything. No problem, Akey Breaky. There's no FTOC investigations. There are a couple of ambulance chasing law firms that are going after them, but this is typical for SPAC guys, so it's not really a big deal. ADN will be the new ticker for AMCI, guys. This is one of the reasons why you see this portfolio down 17,000 right now. It's down 17,000 because AMCI is currently zeroed out. I have a 1588 entry on it. I just haven't been awarded the name change yet. So, Ralph, thank you so much for the sub, man. Much appreciated. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Palantir shooting up, great. News on contract with BP. But yeah, so AMCI guys will become ADN, and when that changes over, I will have access to that. You won't see the portfolio down as much as it currently is. Um, I'm actually going to close this and open it back up again because it doesn't look like it's filling out. So um, I'm not playing Palantir. Nope. Nope. I already have a pile of money. There's no rule of thumb on it because each instance of that is so kind of in flux. Roach Pope, thanks so much for that sub, man. You freaking rock. How long will it be locked out? That seems kind of bad. You can't trade in that period. Not typically because it's not just me, right? There are a lot of brokerages that take their time changing that ticker over. Usually by the end of day today, that changes over, and then yeah, I heard about 23andMe. That's not a company that I would be interested in getting into. So really, what we're operating right now on, guys, is about a $2,000 loss on the day with GoPro. So one of the things I have to keep my mind on is with that $2,000 loss, not to immediately rush into a play because I think that that's where that play should be. Oh, I just need to take a play to make up my losses somewhere, right? The play that I took was a play that I am very familiar with. SNDL is a play that I know quite well. It's a play that I've taken in the past. So I'm very, very comfortable having that. I understand the direction that it's headed in. SNDL, if we look up their earnings, they have not confirmed an announce date on their earnings yet. They did beat on their last EPS. They missed revenue by about 7 million though. Is that real? Hmm. They're in fuel cell technology. So I think that they'll do quite well on the green energy push. Humanity. Thanks so much for following, man. Let me know how you found the stream, what it is you trade, sir. I guess I should pull up that Restream chat so I can see folks elsewhere that might be talking to us. Um, so they had their offering close yesterday on Sundial. How did Hasbro do? CCIV gains after Lucid CEO denies. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, guys. I am only going to be here till 11 today. Um, no, no, I don't play Qualcomm. I don't play semiconductors. I haven't. Um, Can neither confirm nor deny speculation about going through a SPAC deal with Churchill. So CCIV is still running on rumor, guys, but there's nothing to validate that yet. Um, Activision jumps in nicely off of its earning. How did DD go last night? I think, guys, honestly, GoPro is a really strong play for the year. I am still in on FTOC, yeah. It's a buy, not my like that. You guys have to come to your own conclusion on that. I'm just reading what the news is. Rumors is the bread and butter SPAC. I'm not going anywhere near it. If you look at CCIV's movement, guys, it's already moved quite a bit. And these SPACs, kind of the pattern that I had recognized anyway that I'm playing this off of are if you can get into a SPAC around $10, great. But I mean, look at this. If you can get into a SPAC down here, great. But as soon as it breaks past this 20 level, the milk is milked. The squeeze is squoze, in my opinion. So I like even if they do announce that they are Lucid Motors, I don't think that this goes any higher. I don't think it goes much higher than that. This isn't of interest to me at any point. Yeah, this is pure rumor. This thing could fall like a ton of bricks because IPOF apparently is also in discussions with them. So it's like, okay, because I don't know, I'm not going to go near it. Okay, so FTOC, guys. Yes, I am still in FTOC. I'm very, very confident on that as a play. And again, I've got a decent entry on that at 1401, so I'm happy with that. BTWN is up nicely today, 1625. SNDL's down a little bit, but again, as we move towards compliance with SNDL, I think that gets strong as we head towards their earnings. I think that goes well. I think Clove is really strong, guys. I think that short report is completely off base, and I think that they are really strong. Now, what you guys choose to do with Clove is on you, but I think that into Biden care, healthcare stocks like that are going to be pretty good. I think ADN keeps dipping. No, I think ADN is dipping right now because the majority of people still can't trade it. So you'll see in my account, guys, I have 1,000 shares of AMCI. I can't actively trade AND right now. So if you want to see what this looks like, let's pull up a big sheet here. Okay. For those of you that are unfamiliar with SPACs, okay, let's go to something like Nikola. Okay, and let's go to 2 years. What if I go to a year? Does it pull it up on a year? Day? Okay, so here's Nikola, guys. Okay, so here's Nikola trucking along, blah 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 blah. Little rumor hops up. Oh, VTIQ might become Nikola. Okay, and then it comes back down. We don't really hear anything for a little while, and then hype picks up again. Oh, something might be happening, right? And then they announce that they're in talks. Okay, and we get that confirmation, and then we get the vote, and this is kind of where we are right now with ADN. Okay, so with ADN, here we are in this little section. And you'll see that on the Friday, typically they do this over the weekend. On Friday, there's not a ton of volume, right? It didn't really spike as a result of the name change. And the reason is there's a lot of people that can't actively trade it that day. So what you see happen is after hours and pre-market on the next day, there tends to be a large movement. Now you'll say, okay, well, that's Nikola. That's one example. Who can name some other SPACs out there? Right, we got Space. So let's go back to when Space Okay, so here's 2 years. Here's space, okay? Nothing, 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 nothing. It dips down, back down to the 10. Oh, and then we get news that it's going to become something, right? And we get news that it's going to become something, and then we get this upward movement, right? So here's where the name change happens. And then here's this upward movement. THCB announced definitive agreement on Monday. Yeah, so that one won't do us any good because we're looking for people that have actually had the name change. Clove. Clove is another one. Okay, so we go back to, and this is more recent, right? This rise here is where it happened, but if you look for when it started publicly trading, Clove. Just want to find the day. I'm out of XPOA. I took gains on that. I took a win on that. Trying to find the date when they started. January 8th. Okay. So January 8th. Yeah, she's recovering after that epic stream. She's got stuff that she's got to get taken care of, guys. Okay. So January 8th, they're saying is Clover's date. Okay, so this one has a decline, guys. Here's the risk to SPACs. This had a decline at post SPAC. It didn't run. What are some other ones? Open Doors, right? OPEN was IPOB. So again, announcement, name change. This would be the name change, and then the following Monday it goes up. And then you hold long term for how the company performs. Yeah, Morgs, I did the same thing. I did the same thing today, and I made it a new rule that I don't hold through earnings. Yadig started the morning off with a 2K loss, so that always hurts, but I learned something from that. Good morning, captive. It was just long. Yeah. So, guys, the play that I see, FTOC, this is the latest one, right? We had an announcement here that they had decided who they were going to be. Where they go, we will see. This was a $3.3 billion deal that FTOC did, so I'm not going anywhere. The other one was AMCI, right? So AMCI, you can see it here. They get the announcement of what they're going to become, and then here's all the hype into the vote. So they voted here. The vote goes through, and then we see a decline back down. And now here we are on February 4th, where the name change is going to happen. So if I bring up two sheets side by side, let's go here. We'll do AMCI, and we'll do Let's do something reasonable. I don't want to do something insane like okay, so guys, AMCI over the last 10 days. Okay, so we've got confirmation, right? The vote goes through, this spikes up. That's what the spike is on the vote. Okay, it spikes up. Let's make this days instead of every 30 minutes. So vote is here, it spikes up and comes back down, right? Okay, so you'll see here, you get the announcement, right? You get the announcement, it pops, up, vote, yeah, it's going through. You get a bit of a lull, You're into the name change happens here, it jumps up. Here you are, here we get the vote, you get a bit of a lull. This is this. So in my opinion, what I'm expecting to see is a gap off Monday. The new ticker is AND. Any news on XPOA? Not yet. Eric Schmidt is speaking today at the conference, so we'll see what XPOA does. There's no confirmation that he's going to mention the ticker at all, but it is ADN, yeah. So you'll see that AMCI is not actually moving today. That's because it is now ADN. And it's kind of super low volume because very few people can trade it. If I go into my holdings, keep saying A and D, my bad, ADN. So you can see here, guys, I have AMCI. It is still absent, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So they haven't changed this over yet. I can give you my opinion. I can give you the DD of what I see in those, but Jack, you've got to make your own decisions, man. If you made the decision to sell, that's a decision that you made based off of what you saw. With AMCI, I'm not. I'm okay holding that. I'm okay holding that. I need to get some water here, guys. I will be right back. Zomedica is moving closer and closer to their FDA approval and the start of their sales. GME halted again after 2 minutes. Yeah. Can't find any news on Zomedica. Any reason for the bump? I already said that. How many stocks did you say portfolio is too diversified? For me, I am even breaking my own rules here where I wanted to be holding 4 or 5 positions. I'm currently holding 6, which is too much. So for me, that's too much. You're spread too. I'm spread too thin on that, but it depends on your. It completely depends on your portfolio. If you're creating a long term hold position, a long term hold portfolio, that won't be there. I had to exit GoPro. And it's a good thing I did. Look, I mean, I got out 901. It's fallen even further. Um, yeah, so I mean, I have to update tip ranks now. This is going to be a loss. I should have done this morning when I exited because it's not going to be accurate now. Oh well. And this, my SNDL holding is now 17,000 at $1.18. FTOC, BTWN, SNDL, AND, LUMN. Okay, so this is accurate, guys. My tip ranks is accurate now. Do I ever have cash just sitting? I do currently have cash sitting. I've got about 8 grand sitting. I typically don't like having cash sitting. Um, nice, Velvet. Super pumped to hear that, man. ATOS? I can take a look at ATOS for sure. Um, okay, ATOS Therapeutics, guys. So it is a yeah. Velvet is pure sadness for me as well. I don't say that market crash is plausible in the near future. The states have made it quite clear that they will pump new funds into the market as needed to make sure that a crash doesn't happen. So until that policy changes, that they're just going to pump money endlessly in, the entire market is backed by the U.S. economy. I don't think that there's a crash on that. Okay, so this is a COVID play, which I'm not a huge fan of. When I'm looking at a pipeline on bio, guys, I'm not streaming all day. No, I'm done in less than an hour. Um, what I see happening here, guys, is uh, it's hoping real hard for a COVID play to come out of this, but they're only phase two, so they're way behind the eight ball on a COVID play. Their other designations here are only in phase two, so there's no phase three trial here. I think you're going to be waiting more than a year on this, to be honest. And even if they get these, I don't know that it's going to be in time. I wouldn't. I don't like ATOS based off of what I'm seeing there. They're banked too heavily on COVID, and I'm opposed to COVID plays right now. Um, DCRB is up. I don't think you see it. I don't think you see it crash. I don't think you see it run like a maniac. I think you just see it go sideways. Um, no problem. SNDL guys, I'm waiting for them to get their compliance as well as run up into earnings. SNDL's last four earnings, they did get a beat on it. They haven't confirmed their date yet for their earnings. It is whispered to be the 17th, but this little thing here means it's not confirmed. In the next couple weeks, SNDL is lined up to drop their earnings. I think it's going to beat. I think it's going to go up. That seems to be in the majority. I do not do options trading, no. Um, Not actively, anyway. Any moves today? I did take a few. I did take a few. I don't know that I'm going to take many more. Exited GoPro, entered SNDL. That was it. That's all I've done today. This was a loss, so I have to go in here and be GoPro, SNDL, loss, earnings. And yesterday, iFlux with that 3 month sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Post COVID, recreation, entertainment, travel, tourism. Yeah, but the Japanese economy is backed by a much smaller population. So Japan doesn't have the natural resources that the U.S. does. For letting you sub, come on, man, you rock. Um, Penn is ripping, yeah, into Super Bowl it will. Martini's off today, yeah, she needs to take a day, guys. Um, let's see, Japan population. So 126 million, half of the U.S. population. I hold no Bitcoin. Japan GDP is 5 trillion versus US GDP. Japan is ranked first for debt, 3 times more debt than the United States. The US is ranked 35th. Their surplus or deficit, Japan was down 10% of GDP. The States is down 6.8, which is massive considering the size of these. 47% more debt, more deficit. Also, guys, as far as budget revenues, Japan brings in 1.99 trillion, but and they're ranked second. The United States brings in 2.45 trillion, which is 23% more, which is a shit ton of money. Good morning, Pilot. So, do I see this being the same thing as Japan in the past? No, they're two different. Yeah, gobbler. Exactly. Exactly. Sometimes you just got to take that day for yourself. You know what I mean? It's kind of a good idea to make that happen. Um, so bump a bump bump bump. Let's see trending on stock twits. ALPP, Jug, FX, CCIB, AREC, AREC. What is this? Land holding and resources. So this is a SPAC. Yeah, this is mining. I'm not a big fan. ADN is down 12%. Nobody, there's still so many people that can't trade it, right? So, I mean, I'm putting ADN here into Seeking Alpha. It doesn't even come up. You got to go AMCI to get it still. Um, so if I pull up AMCI guys to get you a feel for what the average volume was on a day, all right? So here's AMCI. Average volume on a day was 696,000. It's at 28,000 right now. So for ADN to be down at all right now is kind of laughable just because there's no volume on it. Nobody can trade it. There are a few people that had to switch over, but I'm still like I still don't have access to my shares of it. Um, Thank you so much for the follow, man. Let me know how you found the stream, what it is you trade. You guys rock. Thank you for all the support you guys have been giving me, by the way, with subs, follows, spreading word on the stream. I do appreciate it. But yeah, you look at AMCI's volume, guys, 3 months on the daily. Over the past week, 750,000, over a million, over a million, over a million, 800,000. A low day, over a million, over a million, over a million, over a million, over a million. Like a lot of days over a million here, right? ADN has triggered the uptick rule. Okay. Um, yeah. So this is me not really sweating ADN, guys, because remember when we pulled up ADN alongside open, so what you see is this day here, right? This is the day before the name change on open, December 4th, right? This dip right here on the Friday, it does go down. There's a red day. Open 21.8, closed 21.6. It was down on the day. Um, so this is their name change day. But then the following week, as people start being able to trade it, then it starts to move. Do I talk about ETFs and mutual funds? I don't do a lot of talking about ETFs. Um, Is it a good buy the dip? Maybe, maybe not. I can't speak to price movement and how it's going to go. I know for me that traditionally most of the SPACs show positive gains over the weekend on a name change, which is what I'm playing. You guys need to make your own decisions on whether or not you think that that's a solid play. Um, GME is mooning right now. Okay. Do you talk about ETFs, mutual funds? The reasons why I don't talk about ETFs and mutual funds is one, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to recommend specific financial products. As far as ETFs, I don't trade ETFs simply because an ETF is really just a giant casserole dish of stocks, right? And in that, there's some really nice stocks, but there's also some dog shit that I would never trade. So if there's an ETF in a sector that I'm interested about, what I would do is open that ETF, see what its majority holdings are, and the ones that look to be the outperformers in it, those are the ones that I would pick up and play instead of me actually trading the entire ETF. Now, ETFs and mutual funds might be of interest to a more passive investor, but I am on here every day, guys. I'm on here every day. Um, hang out with you guys. I watch my portfolio. I'm around. So let's take a look at GME. Apparently, GME is running to the moon. Um, Up 41%. Portfolio is red, red, red today. BTWN is down, still waiting on a deal with that. FTOC as a hold guide is a SPAC. BTWN is a SPAC. AMCI is a SPAC. LUMN is not. AQB is not. SNDL is not. SNDL is my pot play. AQB is my exposure to meat shortage. LUMN is my exposure to 5G rural internet. And then AMCI is my exposure to the EV sector. So SPAC. BTWN is probably going to be an e-commerce play. FTOC is going to be a fintech play. AMCI is a play in EV. So these sectors that I've got outlined right now. So I've got FTOC is fintech, which is a hot sector, right? BTWN is looking to get into e-commerce. I think that's going to be a hot sector. SNDL, pot. I think that's going to be a hot sector. AMCI, EV. I think that's going to be a hot sector. Rural internet. Do I think that's going to be a hot sector? Yes. So that's there. SHG is running. Thanks, man. They got their first Florida clinic and filed uplist to NASDAQ. Awesome. 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 Happy to hear that, man. Yeah, I was looking at this back. It was down to 120, and I was thinking about getting in, and I didn't. I think SHG just has a lot of room to go still. Wonder if there's anything that I have that I would sell. I mean, not particularly. Monday, I might look at SHG. It is Stock Wizard. It is a shame when good stocks die that way, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, so GME, guys, GME is showing a pump for sure. We go to day, right? It's showing a pump. Thoughts on ALPP? So it's automotive sector. Hmm. They've got like an OnStar style program. Humanity a little bit. Mara is something that we've traded in the past, but we don't really go too much into crypto. Yeah, this looks like a smattering of a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm not a huge fan of kind of companies that can't define what they are. Um, ASRV, small local bank. Ameriserve Financial. Yeah, they were up year over year as a small bank. Bet you this has a divvy on it too, right? 2.7 divvy. Yeah, I mean this is a tiny little nothing. I don't know that I would trade it. That 10% pump is nice. You can't hate that, but Alex Rodriguez is starting a SPAC. Slam. A-Rad on a SPAC. What's up, Chet? Yes, absolutely less than three. SaaS is a model that's being used by far too many, and they're not making money on it. Clove by the dip. You got to make that call, Lycian. Um, yeah, I mean, I SPACs are SPACs, man. SPACs are SPACs. What do I think about Open? I think Chemath got himself a nice long-term winner on that. Newer earnings. No, we did that. Clove by the dip, but can't say. SIRC. Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation. I mean, solar roofing, right? Solar roofing is going to be solar roofing. Um, green energy is going to be strong into Biden. ATRS. Okay, so this is a pharmaceutical company again, guys. Pop this open. Take a look at their pipeline. Tippled I have from time to time. I do not currently. Okay, so they have a bunch of drugs already in the market, which is good. They have filed for these. They are not approved yet. So they do have some potential approvals in the pipeline. They have approved and marketed treatments already. So I think Antares is in a decent place. Um, the one question I would have is why have they not popped with those approvals? So let's look at 5 years, 10 years. Hmm. Rheumatoid arthritis and psoriasis to self-inject. Testosterone deficiency in males. Migraine and cluster headaches. Epinephrine for treating anaphylaxis. A lot of different auto injectors, diabetes. And these are, I mean, I don't hate ATRS. I'm gonna put it on my watch list. Um, yeah, I don't hate it. AEHL. This is a red flag for me from Go, based out of China. That they're up 30% on what would be my question. This looks like a pump. This looks like a pump. I would stay away from that. SCR's been going. Again, guys, SCR is defunct. Vegan. This is a ETF. I don't trade them, but it's based on veganism, so it's going to have a high exposure to Beyond. I don't know why you wouldn't just trade Beyond. But yeah, not a fan of ETFs as a whole, so that's there. Grill, Muscle Maker. We've looked at this one, guys, before. It's opening ghost kitchens, so they are creating restaurants that aren't actually restaurants in order to serve things out. Um, Kuwait and the US is where they're dropping their restaurants. Nice spike in 2017 and then a decline into 2019. Latest news. Yeah, meal delivery. For meal delivery, guys, I would just honestly, if I'm going to do delivery, I'll go back to Waiter. Um, Datadog is a big beast. Never heard of that one before. Score Game in Canada. Oh, on the TS Exchange. Yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere near that. Yeah, I imagine there would be an NDA. Yeah, I hate Covidiots share lover. I can take a look at it for you, but ultimately, if you're not already to market with your COVID play, you're too late. Um, this is tech bio. I don't trade tech bio. I wouldn't go near it. Tech operates on a different approval process than the medication. So, waiter at 4:30 yesterday. Yeah, that's because Grubhub had earnings yesterday, and I think people were pumping that it may potentially drop news regarding an acquisition, estimating March for their earnings. Dose of Ria. Thank you so much for the follow. Let me know how you found the channel, what it is you trade. Got about a half hour left here, guys. Waiter is actually looking really nice right now. Waiter's one I'm confident with. I made decent gains on in the past. Um, when is AQB's earnings? Not confirmed. Lumen?
LUMN's is next week on the 10th.
Okay, so not going anywhere on Lumen then. Thoughts on DGLY? I think they're still strong. They do have their own restaurant change, but they've been seeing declining revenues on Destructive War over the last 2 years. So I'm not inclined to see that there's going to be any kind of a reversal on that. I mean, herein lies the crux, guys. I am pretty much locked here. I could exit BTWN, but if news drops over the weekend, that means I missed that entire move. Um, Waiter's a month out, and I don't know that Waiter sees the same kind of gains that BTWN does, so I think I keep that position. How long do I think the FTOC play will take? The process is usually pretty quick once they've made the announcement. So let's go to FTOC and see. This is the big part, the subject to approvals by stockholders. So this is the thing that you got to watch for is the date of that vote. Yeah, for me this is a huddle, but I mean, the pricing on this one, the play that I've got on it is, I'm not going anywhere on that one. Knowing that target and the entry that I've got, I think it's going to be good. You are catching the end of the stream. There's not a ton going on for me here on this, guys. And I know it's more exciting for you guys to be able to actually see people that are actively doing things. It just doesn't look like a super active day for me. My thoughts on AQB. My thoughts on AQB are this. Okay, AQB dropped an offering yesterday, 8:44 a.m., which caused the stock to dump in a rather massive way. Um, the offering was at 8.50 a share. Um, so that it's still up above that is not bad. But the thing that made AQB particularly attractive to me is this down here. So these are their revenues for prior years: 292, 101, 53,000, 84,000, 186,000. They're estimating 357,000 right now. Next year, they're estimating 6.8 million. That would be 2,000% increase in revenue. Well, that's their projection. So that's what they're projecting. But you got to ask, okay, so why, right? Why are they projecting growth like that? Why in the world would they be projecting growth like that? Um, So it's a land-based aquaculture company utilizing tech to enhance productivity, sustainability, and analysis the company's financial results for the third quarter. So essentially what they do, guys, are salmon farms, okay? But they are salmon farms that allow them to create bigger fish more often. So yeah, hair, that's exactly the question. What is it that's going to do it? So commenced harvesting of conventional Atlantic salmon in June at the company's Indiana farm, validating its land-based recirculating aqua as efficient and sustainable ways to raise Atlantic salmon. So they've started harvesting. And if you start harvesting, that means that you start selling, right? It could be an issue that they just made numbers up, but you gotta. This is why you gotta read their actual filings and read the reports and see why it is that they're bullish. Growth of feed conversion targets. Kentucky, they're planning a large-scale farm designed for the company's proprietary salmon system after an exhaustive nationwide search spanning approximately 230 sites. They raised gross proceeds of 31 million through an offering. So this offering is in, it's there. They've got cash. Um, so their first harvest is the big deal. So they're moving forward with the planning of the first large-scale farm, which is anticipated to have a capacity of 10,000 metric tons of salmon annually. We've selected Mayfield and Graves County, Kentucky as the leading location as it met all the previous criteria, given our strong balance sheet, the impending first ever commercial harvest of AAS, and the planned construction of our next farm. Aqua Bounty is in a better position than ever to drive long-term value. Um, yeah, so they're going to start harvesting and they're going to build a much bigger thing. So um, cash and cash equivalents, they now have $38 million on hand where they had two the year prior. Inventory, they've got an increased inventory on fish, which means they got more money or more things to sell. These are the assets, the valuation of their plants and tech. Liabilities, slight increase in liabilities by $500,000, but they increased their cash on hand by 36 million. So for me, when you're increasing your assets and your liabilities are really only showing slight increases, I think that you're in a really good place. Value of a metric ton of salmon. 2010 metric ton. So they're estimating that a price per pound on salmon is 383. So pounds in a metric ton. Okay, metric ton has 2,200 pounds in it, times 10, right? They were looking to put 10,000 metric tons of fish into the market. So that would be 22,000 pounds at 383. So 22,000 by 383. 11,000 metric tons. They're estimating at 76 million in value. I forgot to multiply by 1,000, right? So add three zeros on here, guys, which is 84 million, which isn't quite what they had outlined in their thing because they had some massive number like 300 million. But at the very least, it's 84 million, which in my books, if you're looking at AQB, right? I'm looking at AQB and I'm going, okay, they did 357,000 this year, and let's say that they do, oh, no, they did claim 6 million. And this is saying that it's actually going to be closer to 8 minus costs. Yeah, that is possible, but even still, this number doesn't look unreasonable, right? Hey, best luck with that cheer. So, I mean, 8.4, what's this? 84 million is what this would be, but I don't think that they're going to come in at that. Well, wholesale is what they would be selling. They're not going to sell one to one. They're going to be selling wholesale. So I just found them on their offering yesterday and thought that they had extended too far down. I actually really like AQB where it is. We'll see how SNDL does here into the end of the day. If I can get out of SNDL at a green, at a gain, I probably will. I'm not going anywhere on F Talk. I'm not going anywhere on BTWN. And LUMN has earnings next week, so I'll probably hold it up in two earnings, but not through. Um, they are. They're planning a much larger facility. Um, yeah, I got a 118 average on SNDL. I think heading into the weekend, there's a huge opportunity on it. Um, Honestly, guys, I don't think that there's much more that I'm going to be doing. It is sundial growers, yeah, Demonetta. I don't think there's going to be much more that I'm actually doing today here, guys. I'm looking at this and going, it feels like I'm not going to see a lot of movement on my holdings today. I don't think there's going to be a lot of news that comes out. Um, Not all. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Hopefully, new week, new excitement, new fun. Hopefully, ADN comes in and it looks good. But I honestly, guys, I think that I'm just about at the end here. I don't think that there's much more that I can do today. Um, yeah, you can tell that Robinhood removed its limits because it's. Um,
I'm a psychic. Wow. My mind is weary.
whoa, 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 whoa! Freaking Twitch, man. All right. What? Abez life. Okay. Let's do the raid. I'll send you over to my guy. Have an amazing weekend, guys. You rock. I'll see you around. I'll see you Monday. Actually, no, I'm here tomorrow, guys, 1 to 4. Remember, weekly recap, DD, book, studies, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be here. Go enjoy this guy. He's a bit of a goof, but I love the man. Take it easy. Out of here in 4, 3, 2, 1. Later.